Tennessee Life is sponsored by
Mid-South Sewing and Fabric has what you need for your creative adventure. If it's sewing, embroidery, or vinyl projects you need for a home business, Etsy, Pinterest, and your family, we have it. Mid-South Sewing sells Brothers Sewing and Embroidery machines and the latest scan and cut crafting machine. Mid-South Sewing and Fabric in the Gallery Shopping Center.
Tennessee Life is also brought to you by The Flower Pot. For over 100 years, offering flowers and same-day delivery with 2 convenient Knoxville locations. KnoxvilleFlowerPot.com. And by viewers like you. Thank you. Coming up on this edition of Tennessee Life, we celebrate a love for dogs in the volunteer state.
That's my hand!
Our first group of canines have been trained to assist those who sacrificed for us all, military veterans. Meet some of these heroes and their canine companions.
The veteran has his battle buddy that's going to be with him. He's going to have to take care of the dog's going to take care of him. And that's something that the majority of these veterans really need. And so it's just a beautiful bond that takes place.
These dogs train like athletes to run, jump, and compete in pools all over the country. Now, Knoxville is the World Championship headquarters for Dock Dogs Worldwide.
People love watching dogs jump off a dock. I don't know what it is. It's just a spectacle. One of those events that people love to watch.
Dog owners love to reward all that good behavior. Meet a man who took his knack for making beef jerky and started making homemade natural dog treats.
I think that's what the selling point is of the dog treats. It's all natural, and dogs really like these things, and people know they're giving their dog a good treat. It's nutritious and beneficial, and a training treat too. You can use it for anything.
Those stories next on Tennessee Life.
Thank you for joining us for this special edition of Tennessee Life as we celebrate our love of dogs. A special bond is forged between veterans who made great sacrifices and some highly capable canines. Smoky Mountain Service Dogs has specialized trainers who spend years getting puppies ready to help servicemen and women face daily challenges.
She's always there, and that's a big blessing in itself, having her with me. She definitely helps me maintain a good balance while walking over uneven terrain and getting around. It's the emotional benefits, the emotional support that she gives me, the bond that we have, that we share.
There's that he's got my back kind of thing that the veteran feels once they get their dog. There's also this magical battle buddy thing that happens because the veteran has his battle buddy that's going to be with him. He's going to have to take care of the dog's going to take care of him. And that's something that the majority of these veterans really need. It's just a beautiful bond that takes place.
Put it. Yes. Good job, buddy. What a good boy. Good.
My name's Mike Kitchens, and I'm honored to serve as volunteer chair for Smoky Mountain Service Dogs. We started in, it was October of 2010. A few of us gathered in our home in Tellico Village. There were probably 4 or 5 of us. My wife Susie was one of the ringleaders that decided to do this, and it took us 2 years. They immediately were able to get their 501c3 nonprofit status. We had wonderful trainers available. And so we just started with a couple of puppies. So with those puppies, it was 2 years. 2013 in January is when we were able to serve our first wounded veteran with a mobility assistance service dog. We love all dogs, and we don't say that we're breed specific, but we do say that our preferences are for labs and golden retrievers. We like large dogs because we ask them to wear a mobility assistance harness to provide balance for the veteran. Their food drive is high. I mean, they like to eat, and that's how we positive reinforcement training. Their capability for training on retrieval skills. We have a veteran, maybe he's taking his prosthetics off in the evening and he's left his telephone upstairs and his phone rings. It's a huge task to prepare a dog. Yes. Approximately over a period of 2 years, as soon as we start with a puppy, a dog will receive 15 to 1,800 hours of training. Over 100 sets of hands will probably touch that dog, as we have volunteers that puppy raise, work with our trainers, volunteers that socialize. We'll get asked as we go do a presentation, will you have your dog do tricks today? And we said, no sir, no ma'am, we don't do tricks. Our dogs perform tasks. Every dog we have, as an example, you can drop a credit card on a tile floor at Walmart.
Bring it.
Every dog will pick it up and put it on the counter. Pick up canes. Assist in pulling a wheelchair if that is required. So these dogs will learn probably around 50 commands during their 2 years of training. The way the process works, we do a home visit on each potential veteran. We'll take a dog. It may not be the dog that that veteran's going to be matched with, but we take a dog, and if they're on prosthetics, we watch them walk. That will be a determining factor, because after we do that home visit, we're going to custom train that dog for that particular veteran for another 2 or 3 months, and then the veteran comes to us for 2 weeks of team training. The commands, that's where the bonding starts to take place, and after about a week, this magical thing happens between that veteran and his dog. It's just a beautiful thing. We just call it magic.
My name is Bradley Walker. Currently live in Dandridge, Tennessee. Was born and raised in White Pine, Tennessee. Lived in Tennessee my whole life. I was a sergeant in the United States Marine Corps, deployed to Iraq back in 2006. About 3 months into my deployment, I was driving a Humvee and was struck by an improvised explosive device, resulting in the loss of my legs and several other injuries. Coming back and going through the rehabilitation process, basically I could see that life was definitely going to be different than what it was before. There are a lot of challenges that you don't really anticipate coming home. Stuff that used to be simple, such as going to the bathroom, taking a shower, or just little trivial things that you don't even really think of, all of a sudden become huge hurdles. Retrieval is a good task that she knows. If I drop something on the floor, she could easily retrieve it, reducing the risk of me falling over and injuring myself, and save me the hassle. Good girl.
We look very, very careful at the skill set of the dog and the needs of that veteran. The veteran, now some organizations will put 5 dogs out and the veterans come in, I want that one. That's not what we do. We know our dogs. We are in the best position to assist that veteran in selecting the dog that's the best fit.
With me, I'm pretty mobile and pretty active. And Lucy is a pretty active dog also, so they thought that would be a real good pairing. The week that I finally graduated and received her as my dog, it wasn't 3 days later she saved me from falling. We were in a furniture store, and I had caught my prosthetic foot on an area rug and went to try to take a step and ended up tripping. And if she hadn't have been there, I would have face planted easily. She completely saved me. She'll completely lock up and give you something steady to hang on to.
Not long after I got her, one of the things that me and my wife did, we were actually out, and she wanted to go do a corn maze, and really without her, that would be something I don't think I'd really attempt. But with her, she was there with me the whole way, and there was a little treacherous terrain involved with that, but I was able to get through it without any issue. It means a lot to be able to go to the zoo and to have her there to where I could actually take my son and my wife to the zoo, and we could actually have a good fun day with that.
I love our veterans, obviously, and I love these dogs. And when you've gone through the process with a veteran and a particular dog, we've known the dog since it's a puppy, and we've gotten to know the veteran's wife, the veteran's children during that time. So when it all comes together and works, and we do what we call a passing of the leash, which is a graduation ceremony. That's a huge paycheck for all of us that spend our time and resources doing what we do.
Oh, there's none others. You know, she goes everywhere I go. She does everything I do. There's just a bond now. And I've had her long enough now that, you know, she has probably 50 to 60 commands. And I've had her so long now that I don't even have to give her a command. She already knows what I'm going to be saying before I even say it.
That's one of the things that we found out early on. You don't have to go very far to find someone that's sacrificed in service to our country. Our criteria is 350 miles around Knoxville, but our board of directors can go outside of that, which we will do occasionally if we've got the right dog for the right veteran. In regards to our growth, we've been so blessed with the level of support, not only from the number of volunteers. We have over 100 volunteers in the community that assist us in doing what we do. We were really blessed this year by being named the recipient of the Chris Kyle Memorial Benefit in Fort Worth, Texas. And their significant donation played a huge role in us kicking off our More Wags for Warriors campaign so that we can have a state-of-the-art 18-dog kennel and a veteran canine training center on our 10 acres in Lenoir City. It's what I call a paycheck for the heart. I mean, I told someone how much time I spent doing this one day. He says, "You do all that and you don't get paid?" I said, "Oh yeah, I get paid. I get paid. Each time we pass the leash of a dog to a veteran, that's a payday for all of us." And they join our family, and once they're in our family, we don't just use those words lightly. They become part of our family.
It's a very rewarding relationship that you have with a service dog. Bella and my son get along famously. They get along like brother and sister. As a matter of fact, he calls her Sissy. They do fight like siblings at times, but yeah, she's definitely part of the family. It's just hard not to love her. I mean, she's always there and she's always happy, and if I ever catch myself feeling a little down or whatever, she'll come and nudge herself under my arm and just say, "It's okay, we're all right," and you know, she's there.
Later on Tennessee Life, we go inside Clarky's Jerky Shack, where this man makes sure your best friend can get a natural, tasty reward. And next, what does it take to be a dock dog? Whether they're just starting out or a seasoned athlete, all dogs are welcome to take the plunge.
And now for the dogs who play hard. Dock dogs compete in a pool, running off a platform and jumping as far as they can, kind of like a long jump in the water. Even beginner pups are invited to try out the sport at Dock Dogs Worldwide events. The enthusiasm of a Tennessee chapter helped make Knoxville the new home for the championships.
People love watching dogs jump off a dock. I don't know what it is. It's just a spectacle. It's just one of those events that people love to watch. It's a nice community fit because he's my child, and so I want to take care of my child, and that means that we're going to go to sporting events because he just has so much energy.
Dock Dogs, it's an event for dogs. It's the sporting world for dogs. We're 17 years now running strong. We started it in the year 2000 on behalf of the ESPN Great Outdoor Games. We're kind of a filler show for about 15-20 minutes. They needed a slot filled. We had 4 or 5 dogs around, had a big pool, said, why not, let's try this out. And now we do 3-day events, 45 shows a year, every year. So it's phenomenal. We're in all 50 states. We are in 2 provinces up in Canada. We are in Great Britain, Australia, and parts of Italy as well. My name is Joshua Kane. I'm a production manager and announcer for Dock Dogs Worldwide. In our first of 3 events, it's our main staged event. We go to the distance of a pool. So we have a 40-foot dock, which you see behind us here. We utilize all 40 feet of that, and we have a 60-second time limit for these dogs to get a completed jump in. Now, our golden rule, our #1 rule with Dock Dogs Worldwide is no pushing or shoving. So it's all free will of these dogs to jump into that pool. It's a 2-foot drop from the surface of that dock to the surface of the water, and we're gonna see the distance and see how far they go. And our Guinness Book World Record currently is 31 feet.
We started in 2010. It was because of one crazy Weimaraner named Alex, and he was just crazy, and I went to Tommy Shumpert Dog Park. He started jumping off docks, and I was like, let me look into this. And then there was a Dock Dogs event over in North Carolina. I said, we need this in Knoxville, and we really need this in Tennessee as well. And so we just started a club here. We've been to Knoxville, Cookeville, even to north of Nashville to hold events. It's a great outlet for dogs. I mean, it's kind of like, you know, your kids excelling at soccer. You keep on and keep on and keep on. And so Alex loves it, Buck loves it, and so I'm going to keep doing it. To have a club here in the hosting site for the Dock Dogs World Championships is huge.
There's a reason why we come to Tennessee every year, and there's a reason why our new home for our World Championships is here in Knoxville. Knoxville's and Tennessee in general is a great spot. We go to Memphis, we go Nashville. Our club, Smoky Mountain Dock Dogs Club, is your hometown club for Dock Dogs worldwide. There's a reason why Tennessee is the volunteer state, because I'll tell you what, the people who come out to our events, some of the best in the country, the fans, the friendliness of the crowds, it really makes do for a good show with their dogs, because it's all about friendliness. And Dock Dogs, we encourage all dogs to come. We're gonna do a try Dock Dogs, we call it. So anyone can come out with their dog, whether that dog just turned 6 months of age and, you know, brand new to the world in water in general, or any age, just wanted to get out of the house, you know, maybe learn some new skills, see some other puppies around. And a lot of our shows, we incorporate that for cities coming into. We want to bring in people, let them find out what Dock Dogs is all about. Very similar to the Olympics long jump, we judge based off of where the tail set is. If you guys aren't familiar at home with where the tail set is, it's where the tail meets the back of the spine. So I come from Cleveland, Ohio, we call it the butt. When that butt crosses that plane of the water, we register our score. We use the tail set as the judging score. It's fair for all size dogs. Small dogs we call lap dogs in Dock Dogs worldwide, and then our big behemoth dogs. Big Great Danes would be at a slight advantage over to the Border Collie jumping into that pool. So we go based on where the tail set is. It's kind of like how track is the base of the heels. Our second of our 3 disciplines is our extreme vertical challenge. Extreme vertical challenge. We switch up this dock here a little bit, and we put in an apparatus at the end of that dock. Now it's gonna shoot out 8 feet out. It's gonna hang a bumper. And it's a test to see how high these dogs can jump. So we're gonna test the vertical leap of these dogs. So every completed jump the dog grabs, we're gonna go in increments of 2 inches up. And we're gonna keep raising that bumper up until we get a winner. So it's a jump off. And our third discipline is our speed retrieve. It's kind of a doggy drag race, so to speak. Red light, yellow light, green light, just like a drag race for the puppy, and green means go. And we're gonna see how fast those dogs can test their doggy paddle. When these dogs are up there ready to go in that 60-second time limit, the competitors are doing a whole bunch of methods to get the dog to sit or to stay or to obey, waiting to jump in that pool. And that's where the fans get involved and get to watch a pretty cool show. So you'll have a dog in the back of the dock, and it is so excited to jump in that water. And it's trying to listen to mom and dad to sit so bad, but he will just scoot the butt forward and forward. It'll be 20 feet forward by the time the dog actually jumps in that pool. Whether you're brand new, whether you're gonna jump 1 inch or 31 feet, it doesn't matter. Those dogs think they jumped 100 feet.
He may jump 5 feet, and I don't care because he's having fun. It just really brings a great sense of community. I wouldn't have these friends today if it wasn't for Dock Dogs. Now I have friends all over the nation. It brings more business, more community involvement here in Knoxville and Tennessee. That's what it's all about, is our dogs enjoying a time of jumping in the water, and then we're having a great time competing with each other.
After all that great dog behavior, doesn't your best friend deserve a special treat? A Tennessee man got such a great response with his beef jerky recipe, he figured pets could use a nibble too. We caught up with the creator of Clarky's Dog Logs.
Yeah, one of these days I'll have an electric one of these and I won't have to The one I've been looking at will hold 40 pounds. I've been making beef jerky for about 20 years, just something I enjoyed eating myself. I started making it and taking it to work. People enjoyed eating my jerky, so I said, let's make a business out of it. We're making this in Knoxville, Tennessee, so why not kind of give it a Tennessee kick and say we're making it in the shack, even though we're kind of not. I guess it's kind of a marketing thing, but it just sounds cool. My name is Devlin Clark. I'm the owner of Clarky's Jerky Shack, and we make dog treats and human treats. I just like making the beef jerky. It was a quick snack at work to take along with me or put in my toolbox that I carry around at work, and everybody just said, hey, what are you eating? And I was like, I'm eating beef jerky. They're like, where'd you get that from? And I said, I made it. And they're like, well, this is really good. I mean, can I get a bag from you? I started selling it in Ziploc bags, and now it's in the actual packaging. It was cheaper for me to make it, and I could make it better with no MSG, nitrates, or preservatives in it, which none of that stuff's good for you. I kind of wanted to make a product that was stand out above everybody else's because it doesn't have any of the chemicals in it. I actually started making everything in my kitchen, and I kind of outgrew that and had to build something that was purpose-made for it, because nothing happens in here other than making jerky or dog treats. That's all that happens in here. Nothing else goes on. I've got 5 different flavors of jerky that I make. I've got an original, a teriyaki, a dry rub, a Thai pepper, and we also have a new flavor we just came out with. It's teriyaki Thai. My top seller jerky is dry rub. It's kind of like a barbecue rib without the barbecue sauce. Out of the making the jerky, it came the dog treats. My dog treats are called dog logs. We didn't know what to call them at the time. They were just like sausage, dog treats, or whatever. My business associate said, hey, did I leave a dog log in the dehydrator? And I was like, well, yeah, you did. And then I was like, hey, that's a good name. That's kind of a catchy little name. So it just kind of turned into dog logs. And the name Clarky's came from, my name's Devlin. So all my friends when I was growing up couldn't say Devlin. They always called me Clark. That's my last name, or Clarky. And so I was just, hey, why not make that a business name? From the trimmings I have for making my jerky, I have some of the fat and there's some of the meat that gets cut off too, and I was just throwing it away. I was having to haul it off and freeze it and take it to the dump that way, and I was like, well, what can I do to save myself for a cost-effective thing? And so I said, why don't we just make this into dog treats? Dogs, for hundreds of years, have eaten scraps from people, so why not turn my scraps, add some organ meat into it, and it's all good stuff that's in them. It's MSG, nitrate, preservative, gluten-free, it's everything free. There's only 5 ingredients. I use beef heart is what I use for the main ingredient, and the reason I use that is because it's really rich in vitamins, more so than just regular meat. It's actually, beef heart's been considered a superfood, kind of like an avocado. So it's got lots of health benefits. The ingredients are beef heart, beef tallow, celery juice, liquid smoke, and salt. There's only a tablespoon of salt per 30 pounds of meat, so there's not very much in there at all. It's pretty much like a dog sausage. It's got nutritional benefits as well as it tastes good to them too. I've had dogs my entire life. I know what dogs like, so I was like, well, let's just mix them together. Dogs really aren't that picky, but the protein level in my dog treat is almost 36%, and I think the dogs can smell that, and that's why they get so excited. I kind of have a customer base with my jerky. I pretty much ask people, if you like my jerky, and if you have a dog, you need to see if your dog likes my dog treats. Everybody just started buying it after they fed it to their dog. They're like, my dog really went nuts over these treats. I need another bag. Kind of grew on its own. I really didn't try to do anything except sell jerky, and then I would mention that I also make all natural animal treats, and they're like, well, hey, let me get a bag of those too. And so instead of selling 1 bag of jerky, now I start selling a bag of jerky and a bag of dog logs. Today I sell it at mainly gun shows. Pretty much you have to find me if you don't have it in any kind of stores or anything. But my dog treats are hopefully they'll be in stores here soon. You can look me up on Facebook under Clarky's Jerky Shack and notify me, and we can fix you up. From the materials that I've bought, the amount of bags and labels and stuff I bought, I think in a course of about a year and a half, I've sold over 5,000 bags. So, and that's just the jerky. I don't know about the dog treats yet. The dog treats, I've sold probably about 60 pounds of dog treats so far. Just kind of small scale right now, but my next step forward is going to be using this facility as a dog treat facility, and my jerky is going to have to move somewhere else. That kind of came secondary, but I have such a customer base for my jerky, I can't quit making jerky, but I can't quit making dog logs because people are wanting both of them. So once the animal smells these and you see how much your animal enjoys these things, you'll be back for more. I've not had an animal complain yet, so.
We hope you've enjoyed seeing Tennessee dogs at work and play and can get out and enjoy some time with your own pets. I'm Vicki Lawson. See you on the next Tennessee Life.
Tennessee Life is sponsored by
Mid-South Sewing and Fabric has what you need for your creative adventure. If it's sewing, embroidery, or vinyl projects you need for a home business, Etsy, Pinterest, and your family, we have it. Mid-South Sewing sells Brothers Sewing and Embroidery machines and the latest scan and cut crafting machine. Mid-South Sewing and Fabric in the Gallery Shopping Center.
Tennessee Life is also brought to you by The Flower Pot. For over 100 years, offering flowers and same-day delivery with 2 convenient Knoxville locations. KnoxvilleFlowerPot.com. And by viewers like you. Thank you